You can see this is the kind of storm damage and erosion that happens to these kinds of tunnels when it comes to that monsoon season, making it very dangerous for migrants coming down this way. Is there a reprimand? No, about the city, about the access to city resources that your wife got?
I really have no comment right now. I really have no comment right now.
No? What about
going back to the dais? Yes, going back to the dais. Thank you so much.
Zambada is currently being held here at the El Paso County Jail without bond. But with such a high-profile case in the borderland, experts say it can cause security concerns. Along the border, you find a lot of things that migrants leave behind. We see water here, as well as a makeshift ladder. Border Patrol agents tell me that they hooked the top of this makeshift ladder to the border wall, about 18 feet tall, and attempt to cross over. From the start, we saw families walking into the courthouse holding hands. I even saw them as they were entering the courtroom, and they were all gathered together, even sitting all together on the same side. As the migrant surge continues to be seen in downtown, and as sidewalks continue to be filled, some business owners say they are now feeling those effects in their sales and foot traffic. We've been here for about an hour, and in that time we still see firefighters trying to attack this fire now from different portions of Paisano. Let me show you what we're looking at from where I am standing here. Sacred Heart Church looks a lot different now than it did Monday night. Fewer people out on the street, and that's because of this flyer. Bottles, plastic, and remnants of fireworks. These are just some of the items found here at Red Sands the day before the 4th of July. Officials now reminding the community to be mindful of what you leave behind. Well, I've only been out here for a couple of minutes, but I can tell you I can already start really feeling that heat. That's why the city has opened these cooling centers. Immediately as you walk in, you can definitely feel that rush of air. Fire officials now saying that if you can stay indoors, please do so. Sun out means sign out for Socorro Paletero Oscar Elias, who's preparing for another workday, keeping residents cool one paleta at a time. Earlier Sunday, the village said on social media that a third person had been found dead, but later clarified that the death toll still officially remains at 2. Storms hit the borderland this evening. Lightning was seen throughout different areas in town. This is a look that lit up the sky in West El Paso. Let's turn now to ABC7 Storm Tracker. Jalen, what do you know about our rain chances? How are they continuing to look as we enter the work week? A Clint resident called ABC7 about heavy rains and strong winds sweeping through the area. The storm caused major damage to cars and homes and told us it looked like a tornado had hit. ABC7's Jerry Nakada went to the site. And Jerry, how did it look out there? It's been a beautiful day in the borderland, and people really came out to take advantage of it, Jason.
Well, that's right. This morning, people were seen going for a run and enjoying Memorial Park on this sunny Saturday.
Well, now to our top story. A Juarez man was electrocuted last night after stepping in a water puddle containing a loose power cable. Authorities had to cut the power, and some residents were still without electricity today. The roof caving in, the washer and dryer completely melted with smoke damage, turning it black. These are just some of the damages the family of 7's home endured. It's very sad that in just 10 minutes, everything can go away. Several condos left charred from the inside out after a fire erupted Tuesday morning. If the fire would have started up front, we wouldn't have had anywhere to go. Thank God it started in the back and we were able to get out, except for my 2 dogs who died. After living in their home for 20 years, owner Guadalupe Martinez says it was nothing like she's ever seen before. One of my kids came out and said, "Mom, what is happening? Look at my window. The window is on fire." The homeowner says the fire started right here and escalated throughout the entire house, leaving things like the TV here unrecognizable. The floors of the living room completely drenched in water. According to the El Paso Fire Department, the fire was accidental, caused by an electrical power strip failure. Grateful her family is okay, Martinez says they will keep pushing forward. We're going to start again, and we're going to get up. This was a miracle that we're alive. The homeowners say this is where their children grew up and essentially the place they would like to rebuild. If you would like to help, go ahead and click on this story at KBIA.com. For now, reporting in West El Paso, Brianna Perez, ABC7. Take a look at your screen. This is the result of a high-speed pursuit that ended at the El Paso Country Club as golfers were beginning their day Sunday. Piña's public defender now questioning Texas DPS protocol and residents on high alert. This was the sight for golfers Sunday morning. Texas DPS troopers sped past them on the golf course. The vehicle they were chasing eventually ended in a pond. Javier Peña was arrested. 6 migrants were taken into Border Patrol custody. In Tuesday's bond hearing, his public defender, Maya Quevedo, gave an emotional speech. She said she was worried about the Texas Department of Public Safety continuing dangerous pursuits of human smugglers. She says the pursuits are putting people in danger. Earlier this year, ABC7 obtained every documented pursuit since the inception of Operation Lone Star in Texas in March of 2021. There have been 184 in El Paso County through April 25th of this year. Since then, pursuits continue to happen, like this one in July, leaving 9 people injured. People who live near the country club told me they have seen DPS chases before, but nothing like this.
It's something that's happened quite often. We see a lot of migrants in the neighborhood. The fact that they drove through the country club was a little bit of a surprise.
El Paso Country Club sent us this statement that reads in part, quote, "To witness a chase with 13 cars involved was not very pleasant. Thank God it was early in the morning with less members around and no one got hurt. If this chase had not ended as early as it did, we could have faced a very different outcome." The DPS pursuit policy states in part, quote, "The decision of when to abandon pursuit can only be made by the officer involved," going on to say it could be terminated, quote, "when it becomes evident that continued pursuit will bring out unwarranted danger to the public or to the officer." DPS Regional Director Jose Sanchez appeared on ABC7 Extra earlier this year, saying these pursuits are necessary.
If we were to lay off of pursuits completely, the message would be it's okay to come and drive across into our state, into our country, reap havoc, cause chaos.
We did reach out to Texas DPS about this arrest and are waiting to hear back. The judge in Tuesday's hearing listed Piña's prior charges in different states, including several charges of assault with a deadly weapon, destruction of police property, as well as breaking and entering a vehicle, among other charges. Brianna Perez, ABC7. We are currently under Loop 375 and I-10 in the tunnels. I do want to show you, this is what they call the UTEP storm drain. As you can see, they enter into these tunnels right here, and this is where you end up coming out from under where those vehicles are passing.
The cartels and smugglers, they find the ingenious ways to just open those flaps, get in, and they can actually come into any part of our city, and it's like a maze down there.
Officials say it is a hot spot migrants use to travel through the city underground. About 2 weeks ago, U.S. Border Patrol Confined Space Entry Team discovered 12 undocumented migrants in a storm drain. Smugglers abandoned them to fend for themselves.
They don't care about the life of the person, you know, they just open it up and they just tell them to walk, let them in. Sometimes they don't even have a guide with them.
With helmets, ropes, and air monitors, agents say they are prepared to go through the drains. But that's not the case for migrants.
The fatalities we've had is mostly because of the air quality, or like I said, the CO2 coming up from those generators they throw in there.
And these CBP agents do tell me that this storm drain does see a lot of water during the monsoon seasons, and it can be very dangerous for migrants that are just coming through here, some of them even drowning. Officials say the tunnels are ever changing due to construction, but say it's a passage they have always seen, affecting the most vulnerable.
Sometimes we have a hard time finding them, you know. There's a lot of manholes, a lot of different directions these storm drains go to. A lot of these are families, and they're just trying to make it through like everybody else, and they put those children in danger, you know.
And officials say they are constantly adding agents to the team to help go through those tunnels. They also want to remind the public that if you are seeing anybody come out of those manholes, to go ahead and call law enforcement. For now, reporting in Segundo Barrio, Brianna Perez, ABC7. As we reflect on the 5th anniversary, we highlight key members in our community who played a vital role and saved countless lives. Many call the day unforgettable.
It's almost like you're in a trance or in a dream. I just could not believe what had happened. And now talking about it 5 years on, I still get that heaviness and that feeling of like, what did we just go through? And it's, talking about it makes it all very raw again, very real.
August 3rd, 2019. The darkest day in the borderland tore families apart and brought others together.
People just showed up and they were ready. No one knew what was going on. They knew that we needed to be here.
The trauma system worked, the people worked. People rose up to be heroes.
Medical staff at UMC was just one of the area hospitals answering the call when the community needed it most. As El Paso's Level 1 Trauma Center, they received 14 wounded victims. For many, it's something they've never seen.
We just started getting all the reports from the ambulances. Like it was just one after the other, one after the other, one after the other.
We've got multiple victims. I need everybody to come into the hospital. As I was doing that, I was running to the airport. I got people dying in El Paso. I need to get back. I realized, this is gonna be a long haul. So I said a quick prayer, took a nap, landed. As soon as I got off the plane, went straight to here. I had actually shorts on and switched into scrubs.
Scrubs on, nurses and doctors prepared for the unknown.
I remember numbers were being thrown at us that we were expecting another 30, another 40, even 60 at one point of what could be coming in after. And the whole team was just preparing. What do we need in what room? Who can be where?
Everybody was pretty on edge, and I just had to quiet everything down and tell everybody that, look, we got a job to do, we know what to do, it's stuff we do every day, not on this scale, but it's nothing that we haven't done.
After hours of treating patients, staff says it was the community that kept them going.
The city needs us, and this is what we're here for. We're the Level 1 Trauma Center, and if there's no one else that can do it, and this is what we got to do, and their city needs us, and so it's time to step up and be what they need us to be.
Still, many say the memories of that day replay in their minds.
And I remember one lady, she was explaining how she saw the gunman, how he shot at her, shot other people, killed people in front of her. And she says, I have forgiveness in my heart. I stopped off in the chapel here and said, if anytime I need to say a prayer, it's a good time to go into the chapel. So that was important to me.
Just a woman crying because she knew her husband had passed away. To have been a part of that terrible day to help the community. It was career defining. It was terrible. I'm glad it's past us. We learned a lot, but I was happy to help.
Proud of their team and the swift response, staff says it was a day that united the hospital and the community forever.
I can just tell you, UMC, if we had something, God forbid, in an hour from now, we would do the same thing. The community would do the same thing. And we're prepared.
This is what we're here for. August 3rd was awful. Patients are going to keep coming in, and they need us to be who they need us to be. That's what we're here for. It's the life we chose. It's the profession we love. We just got to keep doing it.